We are looking for our first set of back-to-back road wins since the 2013-14 season in Big 12 play. So if we went on Saturday, it would be the first time since 13-14 with back-to-back
Long time ago.
road. So that's your little stat for the day. Who wants to start us off?
Well, with that being said right there, with that incredible stat, I mean, just heading into this matchup, trying to bounce back from that loss to Oklahoma, I guess what's a couple keys you're going in this weekend?
Yeah, just, learning how to get back up and keep fighting. I mean, we have to do that in the Big 12. We know it's going to be a grind, and, every opponent is different, and there's different ways that we can attack them, and they have different weaknesses or strengths, and we just have to really focus on those and focus on our playing Lady Raider basketball and get us a win. Last time we were on the road, we won, so we need to follow that up with another one.
And looking at K-State too, they have looks a little different. I
do.
know Aoka Lee, I guess from y'all seeing with them on tape, I guess, what does that look like without her? And will this be a good opportunity for your bigs really to step up?
Yeah, so they are very athletic. They're very long. They can shoot the ball really, really well. They attack the basket well. They're very different without Aoka Lee in the middle, but they're still really good. And they've got a lot of kids that return that played a lot of minutes last year. So yes, I do think we have to have an inside presence. I think that our big kids have to step up. We've got to rebound the basketball so much better than we did against OU. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great challenge, but an interesting matchup.
And in the game against OU, Bryn said, playing for 37 minutes, you guys really want to play for that full 40. I guess, what did practice look like the past couple of days to really play that complete game this Saturday?
Yeah, we did a lot of watching film yesterday, the day after the game. We watched a lot of film against the OU team so that we could, really talk about those things, talk about little opportunities that were missed and where we felt like, we kind of lost the lead or lost the game, and tried to correct a lot of those things. But I thought their focus was really good. This team wants to be good. They know that they can play with anybody in the Big 12, and really with all the games that have been going on and the upsets, if you will, or whatever, it's anybody's ball game, and it's even still ours. So our kids just have to focus it on that and believe they can win.
Coach, you said after the OU game, the biggest thing you guys wanted to look at was how you guys are going to play down the stretch going forward. I guess at practice, how do you simulate situations like that are high intensity, high pressure?
Yeah, I think it's difficult this time of year to do that because you're trying to save legs, you're trying to keep them in a rhythm, you're trying to keep, not focusing on the last game or whatever it might be. But at the same time, I think you just put time on the clock, you give them a scenario, and you try to work through that. But we talked a lot about execution down the stretch and trying to know who to go to, who we need to touch the basketball. Like I felt like in the OU game, we had a little bit of miscommunication about who we wanted taking the last shots or just even working the basketball to get the best shot. And so I think that just with some experience and maturity, our kids are going to really learn from that.
Some of the coaches that have come to the USA so far this year keep saying that Bree is one of the best players that they've seen in the conference so far. Maybe to the untrained eye, what is something that you see out of Bree that others might not, that has put her at such a high level this year?
I think she's a well-rounded player. I mean, she can really defend, and she can shoot the three. She can get to the rim. I think the thing that the other opponents are struggling with is the fact that she can get to the rim so well. And I think that's pretty impressive, especially in this league, that she can get herself to the free throw line, and she's just a tough basketball player. But somebody that will take charges, she's just smart in game situation. She can defend the perimeter. She can defend inside in the post as well. And we're just asking her to do a lot of things right now, but she's really playing well and playing with a lot of confidence.
And like Ariel said, it's impossible to replace a player like Aoka Lee, but have you seen on tape maybe anybody trying to fill at least that role and some of the things that she did well with Kansas State?
They do still have a post presence inside, but it's just different. I mean, they don't pound it inside. It's not all centered around them, around her. So I don't think that they're trying to replace her necessarily. They had to definitely change the style of play, and they have done that, and they've done it really well. And they might be even more difficult to guard now because they all really can get to the basket. So it's one of those, and they can all shoot it. So it's one of those things where you've got to really take a lot of pride in individual defense and guarding your own.
What does Gabby Gregory bring? Obviously, the Big 12's leading scorer. What makes her kind of go?
She's so tough. I've known Gabby since she was like in the 5th grade, and she's just really a tough competitor. Believes in herself, very confident. She can get you on the post. She can get you on the perimeter. She can attack the basket and get to the free throw line. So she's just a scorer. She has a scorer's mentality, and K-State's allowing her to do that. And so right now it's really, really working for her. We've got to limit her touches and just keep her off the foul line because I think she's really good when she gets 2 feet in the paint.
And how do you improve on the rebounding battle? And against OU, was a lot of it, they take a lot of threes, longer rebounds, obviously, but just how are you, hoping the team can improve on?
Yeah,
on
we
this rebounding?
well, we have to get better at rebounding the basketball. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. I mean, it's one of those things that, you've got to rebound to be able to compete. And we've got to limit second chance opportunities, and it's just a focus thing for me. I mean, I feel like it's just a focus on everybody putting a body on a person when the ball goes up. And a lot of times the ball always finds the one person that didn't. The ball finds energy or lack thereof. And I think that's glaring when we watch the film of where that's happening at. So we've just really concentrated the last 2 days on putting a body on somebody, and which I was frustrated because I told the girls we've done a rebounding drill every day for that very reason, and so for it not to translate to the game is frustrating, but I think these girls will understand it, and they don't want to lose a game because of that again. So I think that they'll really try to crash the boards a lot harder.
And kind of going off what he said about Gabby and just going up against her and like the other top 4 scorers in the Big 12, how does that improve y'all's defense?
Yeah, well,
down the stretch?
Obviously she's a focal point, right? I mean, we definitely have to limit her touches and limit her opportunities while not allowing someone else to have a career night. And sometimes that's hard because you have to double or you have to try to turn your focus to one player. So it is a challenge for us. I think that our kids will step up to that and really defend well, and they know that she's the key to them going. And if we can just slow her down a little bit, I think that we'll have a really good chance.
And then with Jasmine Lewis getting 3 back-to-back starts, do you expect to start her on Saturday?
It always just depends on game day, just decisions, just about matchups, how we feel practice is going, and how do we want to attack them. And that will be, we still are a day out, so we'll still try to watch a little bit more film and make those decisions a day a game.
Coach, one of the positives from the OU game was your assist to turnover ratio, 20-10, much better than some previous outings. How can you kind of carry that into tomorrow and make it more consistent throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah, we've said from day one that this team has to be a team that executes well and helps each other score. And I thought that for probably 3.5 quarters, we really did that against OU. We executed really well and helped each other score. And that's just something that we've got to continue to do. I just don't think we're going to be very good if we just try to go one-on-one. So, just continuing to stay disciplined and finding value and setting great screens or making the pass or waiting for the next shot, working hard to get the next shot. That's going to be the great shot. And that's just something that this team has to continue to learn and continue to get better at.
Coach, what are some strengths and some weaknesses of K-State y'all are looking to attack quick?
Yeah, their strengths obviously are they can all shoot the basketball and they can get to the paint. So we're going to have to be able to defend our own and just limit those paint touches as much as possible, and not allow them to attract 2 defenders, so that they can find shooters. Secondly, it's transition defense. They play fast as well, but it's more off the pass, not off the dribble. So it's about us getting back in transition and finding our matchups quick so that we can't allow them to catch and shoot threes. And then weaknesses, I think that we can crash the glass on them. They do give up quite a few offensive rebounds. And then I think there's some certain matchups that we can isolate and try to focus on to try to get, that mismatch that we're looking for.
With Bryn scoring a lot more the last 2 games and shooting the ball more, how do you feel like that's kind of opened up this offense?
Yeah, I think it's helped, obviously. She's been very involved in running the offense the past 3 years, but particularly this year, and trying to get people in their spots. But now I think that, senior urgency is occurring. She's understanding that she's a scorer, and really she came to Texas Tech as a scorer. We've had to convert her into a point guard to help us do some things. But I think she's just taking a lot of pride in trying to win and being a senior, and I think she's seeing that opportunity to she's had some opportunities to take over, and she's done that, and it certainly allows for other players to have some open looks if she can be aggressive and score the basketball.
Big Cat, this is another game. She unfortunately did foul out, but she's given it her all out there on the court. I guess what's been that conversation like with her in order to try to keep her onto the court, because when she's on the court, she does make a big impact.
Absolutely. I think just being smarter, about her fouls, controlling her emotions a little bit. She's such a competitor that she just knows nothing but hard and playing hard, and sometimes that results in a foul. But, there were a couple of fouls that she got against OU where she was really trying hard to box out, and she was holding, and there was no doubt she was holding, but in that scenario, you're just fighting for a rebound. You're trying to do whatever you can do to get the rebound, and they should happen to get caught, so hopefully she can move her feet. She can use her fundamentals more than holding and things like that, so that maybe she can stay on the floor a little bit longer, because we definitely need her there.
And Kyla too, I think that was the second time she had a really cool
Yeah.
point one, little stop and pop action too. Are those the plays designed for her and how athletic she is and how quick her reaction time is?
No doubt. Yeah, that play is definitely designed for her. And I just love the fact that she relishes that role. Like, she's such a great kid, and she's such a great teammate, and her best basketball is in front of her, and she's going to develop into a tremendous player. But if every kid could learn from her about when you get your opportunity, no matter how small, you milk it for all it's worth. And that's what we just sang her praises, because she had 1.2 seconds, and she got everything out of that 1.2 seconds that she could. And to be quite honest, if that game comes down to a possession game, which it should have, right? I mean, that could have been the difference. And so I'm super proud of her, and she's working really hard. And as she gets more experience, she's going to get more playing time, and I know she'll take great advantage of it.
Speaking of development from young players this year, it seems like Jazz Shavers is good for 1 or 2 steals a game at this point. Well, what have you seen her do specifically that's made her so dangerous when intercepting passes the way
Yeah,
she does?
I think she's just being so much smarter, and she's taken pride in her defense. For Jazz, I think she was a typical freshman who wanted to come in and, she's an offensive scorer. She is. And so she was very focused on the offensive end, and we've convinced her to be focused on the defensive end because she can be an elite defender for us, and that will turn into offense for her. And I really think that's just her mindset. I think that it's just changed to where she's become more of an elite defender, and she's getting some fruits of her labor, right, by running through some passing lanes and coming up with some steals, and which lead her to some easy buckets.
And tying it together, like you just said right there, it seems like she's always good for getting that steal, coming in the fast break, and working on that Euro step.
Yeah.
Have you seen her? Is that something new for her, or is that something she had in high school?
Oh no, I'm sure it's something she had in high school. Yeah, no, she's a great she really works on her game, and when we have some really great playmakers. So when she has that opportunity to go one-on-one, we want them to do that and try to score or get fouled. And I think she's done a really good job of that, and it just shows her athleticism and all the tools that she has in her game.
And before you came in, we saw JoJo shooting free throws.
Yeah.
How's she doing?
She's doing really well. She's in some non-contact drills with us. She's been practicing some just all non-contact stuff, but we expect her to be back in practice soon. I don't know that she's going to play this year. I don't know that it's smart for us to use that year, but we just want her to be healthy, right? And then we want to make sure that it's best for her when she returns.